maybe a blanket to cover with at the end for the meditation. And if you do work with blocks in your practice, feel free to grab a block. Honestly, I have a little stack of books here that I'll use. So whatever you have at home can become your yoga props. Okay. And great. Okay, guys, so I will get started here, and just one moment. Fantastic. Okay, so we're going to get started in a comfortable, tall, seated posture. If you're able to, I suggest sitting nice and tall on a cushion or book or block, and just elevating the hips slightly. Okay, and let's rest our hands onto the knees. Close down the eyes and just give yourself a moment to arrive. Arrive into your seat, into your practice. You'll start to simply observe your breath here in its natural state. Just a little check-in. How are you feeling right now? This is a chance to just let go of any expectations you may have for your body or for your practice. To transition from wherever you've been before this moment into this present time, here with yourself. And we'll start to connect with our breath in a unique practice today. So I want you to imagine, as you're breathing in, breath is traveling up from pelvic floor or from pubic bone or sits bones, traveling up and outward in the direction of your armpits. And as you're exhaling, the breath is traveling back down and towards that midpoint between the sits bones or the pelvic floor. So the pattern of your breath, the energy traveling up and out from your root, from your base, and then out to armpits, traveling back down in this sort of V-like shape. Taking the breath, an equal inhale and equal exhale, samavritti pranayama. And again, just feeling for, observing this breath pattern in the shape of a V, always returning back to center, back to your root, to your base, and allowing that upward lift of breath to expand and extend your energy and your awareness. That exhale, a sense of grounding back to your center. You may notice now that the breath feels opposite to that which we normally practice in our yoga classes. As you're inhaling, you might notice that your abdomen is actually drawing slightly inward. And as you're exhaling, we're letting the abdomen soften outward. Not forcing any of these things to occur, but just observing for the subtle shift. We're here for about 3 more rounds of breath. Letting go of the need to be anywhere else. Letting go of the need to do any more. And let us shift into this state of being for this 1 hour that we share together. moving towards a state of equanimity or balance as we begin to unite the Ha, the Sa, the masculine, the feminine, the sun, the moon, the light and the dark. We bring them together to come back to our center, back to our root. Let's begin to add a little bit of movement here. You might like to keep the eyes closed. Just slide the right hand underneath your bum. And let the left ear fall towards the left shoulder. A little nod to release tension in the right side of the neck. And then gently releasing chin to the throat, left hand under the bottom, right ear towards the right shoulder. A little nod to release any tension in the left side of the neck. And gently releasing chin to the throat as you next inhale, reach the arms up. Let the head drip back, open the throat, palms meet. Guide them down in front of the heart. As we open our practice together, blink the eyes open. Namaste, everyone. Remove any props that you might have on your mat, and we'll be coming up onto the knees. If kneeling feels a bit sensitive, if you're on a hard floor like I am, you could place a blanket underneath the knees. We're in a high kneeling position, and I'll be mirroring you for most of tonight. Take your right leg straight out to the right side. Let's reach the left arm up. Find the left ear with the upper arm, and then gently slide the right hand down the right leg. Feeling for space down the left sideway. Feeling for softness in the face, in the neck, and the shoulder. Feeling for a sense of steadiness or stability as we ground into the right foot, to the left knee, and the top of the left foot. Slowly stretching that left arm right up to the left side. You're going to place left hand down to the floor like you're in a side plank. Reach that right arm up, open the chest. Maybe even lean the right shoulder back, extending the heart. Spinning the chest up towards the ceiling. One more breath. And then taking the right hand all the way out overhead. So the right fingertips extending away from the center of the right heel. Could you lift the right hip a little higher? Feeling space. Feeling ease. Feeling calm. Let us take the right hand down to the floor and then start to walk your hands out in front of you. So if you're facing the long edge of your mat, hands underneath the shoulders, and then we'll peel the right arm back up. Open that chest again. As you breathe out, weave the right arm underneath the left armpit. And see if we can twist the spine. And we're going to actually hold the posture tonight. So you might see if that right hand stretches a little further away from the right heel with each exhale breath, and maybe the right side of the head or the shoulder rests down. Try spiraling the left shoulder on top of the right just a little more, giving yourself more space while that right inner thigh and groin begin to open, to release and let go. Pressing down into the left palm, right hand comes back. Give yourself just one round of cow and cat here with this right leg extended. Notice the difference in sensation. And then with a neutral spine, begin to walk your hands around towards the right foot or towards the top edge of your mat. So you're in a long, low lunge. Ashwasanchalasana asks us to press into the tips of the fingers and pull them backwards, allowing the chest to lift, to draw forward, the collarbones to open. Press a little more intentionally into your back left foot, opening the heart. Full breath in. And a complete breath out. Begin to walk the hands backwards towards Ardha Hanumanasana. So we're going to try to stop with your left hip on top of your left knee. If the fingertips don't quite reach the floor with this spine extended and right leg straight, you might place fingertips on blocks or on your shin. Maybe hands to hips if that assists you. But our intention here is to get a little longer in our side waist. Extend the chest and the heart more forward, and then wrap your outer right hip backwards. Full breaths, equal inhale and equal exhale. As we start to move further into the postures this evening, can we maintain this steady breath, equanimous breath for an equanimous mind? Let's keep left fingertips down and see if a twist is available. Peel your right arm up, twist your right shoulder open. Continue to wrap your outer right hip backwards. Notice that tingling sensation, maybe outer right hip, thigh, maybe tippy toes. And then placing the right hand back down, walk the hands all the way forward to that nice deep low lunge. Remember, you could stay right here. Or stretch the fingertips all the way up. Set the shoulders back and down. Option to keep the hands apart or start to wrap the right hand to hold left wrist. Feel for an upward lift and then a gentle lean over towards your right side. So I'm using right hand to pull left wrist. Hips are drawing gently forward. Pubic bone is lifting up. Tailbone lengthening down. Giving yourself another full breath in. Soften deeper on the breath out. And then let's take the hands all the way up. Maybe a gentle backward bend here. Place the hands back down. And then walking yourself back towards the long edge of the mat. So now your left toes, they come back behind you again. We're going to take that right leg off the floor and extend it straight back. Staying here or reaching your left arm straight out. I'll just go from the side. We're here in a bird dog, but it's your left arm and right leg extending long. Opposite arm and leg. From here, you'll take the left hand towards the left side, the right leg out to the right. Can you keep your hips level? Ribs and shoulders level. Can you find the stira, the stability in the pose, even though your body starts to shake? Can you come back to your center, back to your balance? Reach left hand forward, right leg back, big breath in. On the breath out, I want you to hug the right knee into the nose. Even take your left hand and assist it to get the spine to round. Dome the upper back. Stay here for just one more full breath. And then release. Left hand down, right knee down. Let's sit hips back to the heels. As you breathe in, we'll lift hips up, reach arms up, open, and gently backwards. Spread the fingers. And as you breathe out, hands to the heart, hips to the heels. Can we reconnect to that breath pattern? Inhaling up from our root lock or our Muladhara chakra. Up and out to the tips of the fingers now. Bringing it all back into center as you exhale. Let's take one more breath, just like that. Expanding, extending, and then coming back to center. Give yourself a full breath right here. Open the mouth, sigh it out. Let's move on to the left side. Rising up onto your knees, take your left leg straight out. Glue the left foot flat and make sure the toes are facing forward. Right arm reaches up, gate pose. Just slide the left hand down the left leg. Giving yourself a bit of space down the right side waist. You might notice now that things are starting to loosen up. Might be waking up a little bit more here. Can we invite a sense of softness throughout the entire practice this evening? Yeah. From here, we tip all the way over to the right side. Try to get the right hand directly beneath the right shoulder. Lift the left arm, maybe lift the left leg if it's there. Otherwise, left foot stays down. Reach that left hand back, open the chest and the shoulder. Maybe give yourself a smile here. Let's take that left arm all the way overhead. Reach long like you're creating a rainbow shape on the left side of your body. More space, more ease. Great. Left hand finds the floor and you'll walk all the way forward again to that long edge of your mat. Give yourself one round of cow pose. It's an inhale that extends the spine, puffs up the chest, points the tailbone up. And then as you exhale, round the spine, scoop into the belly, look to the navel. Upper back is domed. Return to neutral spine here. And let's take that left arm straight up to the ceiling, reaching it up. And then exhale, weave it underneath the right armpit. So again, it's not about how low you get your upper body, but how much are we reaching left fingertips away from left heel? That's the physical aspect, the twist, the extension. Now, Are we able to maintain an even, long, full inhalation, a complete exhalation? Are we able to keep our mind here in the pose, simply observing, non-judgmental? This is the practice. Slowly we feel it all the way back up, and then walk yourself around to face those left toes. So the right toes come back onto the mat now, hips shift forward, and we extend our spine, this long lunge. Feels like fingertips are pulling backwards past the chest, draw the collarbones open, open the heart. Good. It's okay if the hands need to be on books. Maybe they just need to rest onto the left knee. But let's lengthen the spine. One more full breath here. Walking the hands backwards, we're going to extend that left leg straight, left toes to the ceiling. Can we stop with the right hip in line with the right knee? Try not to sit back and knee further. And again, it's almost as if you're going for that cow pose with the spine. Extend the chest forward, the heart open. Calm, steady breath. Good. And planting those right fingertips down, let's just peel the left arm up, opening, reaching, extending. Feel that twist in your spine and notice if there's that little wobble, a little waver or a little shake. It's okay. But can you keep coming back to balance, back to equanimity? Left hand lowers down. Walk the hands all the way forward, deep low lunge. And let's take the arms all the way up, Anjaneyasana. So the hands can stay apart. We can keep reaching up. Or you might like to take a left hand, hold right wrist, and lean across over to the right side. Lifting up in the front of the pubic bone while the tailbone descends down. There's a little activation or a squeeze of the glutes or the bum, but the pelvis presses forward. Find length, find space, find softness. Bring yourself back to the center. Give yourself one more full breath, maybe a little back bend. And then exhale, bring the hands all the way down to the floor. And we'll start to walk them back around to the front, last time here. So the right toes turn to behind you. The left leg extends behind you. Right arm stretches out in front, and we hold. Yeah, opposite arm and leg are extending. Left leg back, right arm forward. And we start to open them out to their respective sides and just hold. As you press into the earth, can you feel yourself lifting away? Front ribs knitting together. Hips level, shoulders and collarbones level. Coming back into the center. And then guide that left knee all the way out underneath your chest. Use the right hand, pull it in, pull it up. And release it. Sitting back onto the heels if you can. Give yourself a moment. We have 3 of those big breaths. Again, inhale, reaching up and back, extending, expanding. Exhaling to come back to your center. Twice more like this. Pressing the hips just a little bit further forward. Lifting the heart a little more. Last one. And let us pause. Pause in presence. And we're going to move into the practice of Kapalabhati breathing, breath of fire. Place your hands onto your abdomen. The intention here is to pump the abdomen in and out. Short, sharp exhalations. The inhale happens automatically. If you find that you're not getting enough breath on the inhale, just stop, take another deep breath, and keep pumping the belly on the exhale. Let's start together. Inhale completely, full of breath. Then exhale it all out. Just feel yourself let the day go. Good. Now inhale about halfway full and begin to pump the belly. Exhale, 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 exhale. Continue in your own time. The breath is actually leaving through the nose. You're snapping the navel into the spine and the belly is moving like a compression here. Pulse it, pulse it, pulse it. You have 5, 4, 3, 2. Exhale completely empty. Empty it all out. And now we rise back up to the knees. Take the deepest breath you've taken all day. Reach up. If you can, hold the breath in. Relax the face. Smile a little bit. Hold it in. And then exhale, release. Beautiful. Fantastic, everyone. Go ahead and slowly come forward onto all fours. Curl the toes. Now you're back along the length of your own mat here. We'll lift the knees up and take your first downward facing dog. Feet are about hips distance apart, but we're going to slide them backwards just a little bit further. Keep a nice soft bend in the knees and then start to press the palms of the hands forward. Lift the hips, slope the tailbone upward like the peak of a mountain. Good. That's okay if the heels are hovering quite high at the moment. We're actually going to lift them up. Keep pushing forward through hands. Lift the heels as high as you can. Notice with a bend in your knees how the thighs come closer to the belly. Good. Now try to draw the front ribs in, but get as long as you can in the spine as you wrap the outer arms backwards. Head and neck free. Stay one more breath. We're dropping both heels to the right side. So the outer blade of the right foot is down, inner blade of the left foot. Good. And from here, you might like to bend the knees and then extend, push harder into your left hand. Bend the knees and extend, push harder into that left hand. Lift back up onto the tippy toes and then roll them over, heels over to the left now. Keep pressing strongly into your right palm. Bend the knees if that feels good. And then extend, keep lifting the hips. One breath. Wonderful. Come back into the center. Slowly lower the heels down. And I'll ask you to just walk the hands back slowly, gently, backwards to meet the feet. The upper body is just hanging forward. Feet are parallel. There's a generous bend in the knees. Head is hanging. Breath is calm and deep. You might like to hold on to each elbow with the opposite hand, just if that feels right for you. And as you take a breath in, bring the forearms towards the shins, extend the spine, look out in front of you. As you breathe out, fold a little deeper. Let the upper arms pass the ears as you look towards the navel. Try that twice more, giving yourself a little more space, more extension. And notice as you breathe out, you soften, you fold a little deeper. Elbows descending lower. Just one more. Release the hands down to the floor. Soft bend in the knees. Inhale, hands slide up the shins, halfway lift. Long spine, and exhale, tip, fold deep. Root down into the feet to rise all the way up to standing. At the top, you're locking your thumbs. Spread your fingers apart. Lift up and take the hands over to the right side as you lean the hips to the left. Inhale, back up to center. Exhale, hands left, hips right. Inhale, back up to center. Press the palms down, bring them in front of the heart. Close the eyes. As you're breathing in, feel breath as if it's coming up from the soles of the feet. As you're breathing out, grounding back down, exhaling through the soles of the feet. Eyes are closed. Breath is calm. Yeah. And then from here, let us reach the hands out in front of us. Yes? We're going to sit down like we're going towards Utkatasana chair pose. Now, if your ankles and knees allow, I'm going to ask you to straight away float the heels up. Not just a little bit, lift the heels up like you have stilettos. Sink a little bit deeper. If this isn't available tonight, just press the heels down, but send the hips back, send the upper spine back. Stay here, one more breath. Beautiful. Heels down, rise up and find a little bit of a backward bend. Hands to the heart, bend into the knees a little deeper. So feet are flat this time. We're taking a little twisted chairs. Tonight, our knees are apart. So you may or may not get that left elbow wrapped all the way around the right knee. It's okay. Press your right palm into your left palm to twist the spine more. I want you to look down to see, is that left knee trying to sneak in front? Pull the left knee back to the right. Both hips level, spine long, sink a little deeper. Good, inhale back up. Exhale, twist to the left. So you're hooking the right elbow around the left knee if it's available. Press the left palm. Twist a little further. Open that left shoulder and left side of the chest up just a little bit more as you sink the hips. Don't worry, we won't be working this strong in the legs for long. Good, slowly coming all the way back up to chair pose, back up to your backward bend, and then hands to the heart. Turn the toes out, heels in, and then lower the hips just as far as they can, keeping the heels down. Malasana, Yogic Squat. Elbows try to push the knees open, but if the heels are lifting, take the feet wider. Maybe you have to lift your hips higher. That's okay. Open yourself as much as you can here. Now, you might like to take left hand down, reach the right arm up, open the chest. If you have a bind in your practice, please feel free to take that now. Or tonight, we're going to place the right hand behind the back of the head and lean the head backwards. Stretch that elbow away. Slowly release and switch. Right hand down, left arm up. Again, you could take the bind or just cup the back of the head with your left hand. Head leans back. Heart and chest stay open. Good. Gently release it out. Strong in the legs. Press into the palms and rise straight on up. Good. So you're still at the back edge of your mat. Good. Take a deep breath. Reach the arms all the way up. Exhale, hands to the heart. Inhale, arms reaching up and back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, extend the spine. Exhale, stretch down deep and hold. So your first option is to hold on to the ankles with your hands. Option 2, the first 2 fingers of each hand wrap around the big toe. Padangusthasana. Whatever you're holding on to, please, deep breath, extend the spine, look forward. Keep a soft bend in those knees. As you exhale, pull up on ankles or toes and allow the head to fall. Now, here's where we must find a balance between effort and surrendering. Yeah, let the pose come to you. The gentle effort is in this subtle upward pulling with the hands, helping us to extend the spine, pull the heart open. Lifting the sits bones up, opening the backs of the legs for one more breath. Beautiful. Inhale, a halfway lift. Exhale, place the hands down and walk them all the way out to your downward facing dog. Now this time in down dog, we're going to bring our feet together to touch. Keep pressing forward to that space between the thumb and the index finger. And then let's float the right leg straight back up. Hold it with the hips level. Turn the right toes down to face the floor. And I want you to push forward with the hands and you'll feel the right heel lifting. Right leg is straight. Body is steady. Mind is at ease. Wonderful. Now we point the toes, roll the hips open towards the right side. I love to keep the right leg straight here instead of bending the knee. It's your choice. Right leg can stay straight, just swing it a little bit behind you, or you might like to bend the knee. But can you square the chest and the armpits back up towards the mat? Fantastic. Square the hips to the mat, right foot down, relax the head and the neck, and we just simply repeat left side. Left leg goes up. We start with flexed ankle, pushing forward through hand. We want the 2 hips level, so careful we're not opening the hips yet. Descend the right heel a little bit closer to the mat. Final breath here. Point the left toes, then open the left hip up whilst keeping the left armpit facing down. Remember, you have the choice. You could take that straight left leg behind you a little more, or you could bend the knee. As much as possible, broadening the upper back and shoulders, softening wherever possible. And then finally lowering that left foot down and begin to walk the feet all the way ahead towards the hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, root down to rise all the way up. Standing tall in Tadasana, interlace your fingers. Press your palms all the way to the ceiling. So ground down into the feet. First movement, we twist to the right side. Keep pressing up. Now we start to lean back as if we're going into a back bend in the twist. Head falls back, look up to those knuckles. Lean back, twist more. Push that left palm up higher. And then back to the center. Deep breath in, tall body, long side waist. Exhale, twist towards your left. Then begin to lean backwards, hips press forward, stay in the twist. Hands back more, head back more. Look up to the right palm and really try to press it away from your right side ribs. Stay one more breath, arms might be shaking. Slowly back into the center. Release the hands all the way down by the sides. Give your shoulders a big roll up and back, all the way down. Great job so far. Let's step the right leg out so that you're all facing the long edge of your mat. We'll start with all 10 toes facing forward. Inhale the arms out. Exhale, hands to the hips, elbows close together. Inhale, puff up the chest, look up. Exhale, tip forward, only about halfway down. So I'm just gonna go from the side for a moment. You wanna feel like you have a table with your spine and the elbows are trying to squeeze. Long spine, and then just reach your left fingertips down. Left fingertips down. Feel how the hips stay level, and then roll your right shoulder open, reach your right hand up. Good, so we're not going down right now. We're long in the torso. Right shoulders wrapping back, hips stay level. Good. One more big breath is here. Good. Reach this right hand back to the hip, and now see if you can bring the left hand across to the right foot. Now you can bend the left elbow as much as it feels good, and then reach the right arm up. More important to keep a straight or a long spine. So that might mean elbow doesn't touch the floor, or maybe even right hand stays resting on the hips. Twist the torso, draw the navel in. Final breath is here. Extend the left arm, right hand down back into the center, and give yourself a full breath in. And then soften and relax the head down. We're only going to stay here for 3 breaths. Prasarita Padottanasana, this big open leg forward fold, you choose your variation. Right now, it's an opportunity for you to come back to center, reconnect. Good, and then let's move on. So we'll extend that spine once again. Spine is long, and you'll keep right fingertips down on the floor underneath your nose. Left hand is on the hips, and then you twist the torso open, left shoulder opening. Maybe left arm reaching up. Feels like left fingertips and right fingertips are pulling away from one another. Legs are strong. Navel and ribs are drawn in. Final breath. Left hand back to the hips, and then just walk this right hand across. Maybe here is where we stop. Right hand to left foot. Twist torso. Maybe there's more and we bend right elbow, lower the chest, lower the shoulder. Maybe we reach left arm up. See the look of the pose doesn't matter. What's it feel like? What is allowing me to create more space and to find a balance between that effort that I'm applying and then that softening, that surrendering. Go ahead and lower both hands down, and you're again in that wide forward fold. Start to walk both hands over towards your right foot and bend that right knee deeply. Now, rather than taking the heel up, I want you to instead pull the chest forward. Descend the hips. Turn the left toes to the ceiling if it's available. Try not to drop all the way down to Skandasana yet. Keep using the right elbow, push the knee away. Good. And then slowly centimeter by centimeter, we're going to lower down like you're riding a lift. Just when you feel that point of sensation pulling in the inner groin, I want you to pause there. Doesn't matter if we get all the way down. Good. Hold. Maybe you choose to reach that left arm up, look up to the left thumb, or bring thumb and index finger together to touch. Good. Now, gang, tonight I'm going to challenge you. If your hips, knees, and ankles allow, you're going to sit all the way back down. There might need to be some reorganization to make that happen. Let's keep the right foot flat on the floor and hold the right ankle with the left hand. Right arm reaches back up, and we're going to lean over to the left side. Now, you completely have the choice. Stay up here and feel a nice long stretch anchored into your right buttock. Or you might actually take right buttock off the floor. Maybe you hook left big toe and then draw the hip back down. Wherever you land is perfectly acceptable, and not only acceptable, just perfect for you tonight. Ground into that whole right foot, press into that left heel. Stay for another breath. Smile even. Good. Slowly coming back up. Whew, that's a big one, isn't it? Cross this left shin, or left ankle even, in front of your right shin and ankle. And then we'll take a simple open belly twist. Yeah, just release that. So now our feet are crossed, and we're going to press into both feet. Hands in front of you. And if you can, you're going to come straight up to standing. Yeah, but if it's too much, you use the help of the hands. Open the legs, arms reach wide, and then hands back to the hips. Puff up the chest, lift up, and tip all the way forward from the hips. Hands down, long spine, and then bend into the left knee. Walk the hands over to the inner left foot, and use this elbow to push away. So I strongly encourage you to stay up and lifted first. You might even challenge yourself to reach the hands off the floor to hold instead of lowering all the way down. But then slowly the right toes lift. Maybe that's enough. Or slowly you begin to descend the hips. Maybe you don't need to use the hands. But we're working today to keep the left foot flat on the floor. If you like to take any other variation, feel free. But I want you to check back in. Is the variation that I'm choosing right now helping me to balance the effort and the ease that I bring into the pose? Is it helping me to find calm, cool, surrender? Let's all start to sit back down onto the hips. Yeah, good. Again, you might have to reorganize yourself to find the pose. The right hand comes to the left ankle. As best as we can, left knee faces the ceiling. Reaching up and then just tipping over. Again, this might be where you're at tonight. If you choose to, I like to lift my left hip up a little bit just on this variation. And then once I find my spot, I'm going to just start to put my effort in facing the left hip back down. It doesn't go. It doesn't get there. Yeah, and see if you can create just a bit more space in that left side waist and also into the QLs, the lower back muscles. Good. Slowly rising back up. Right ankle crosses in front of the left ankle. Simple, gentle, open belly twist. Great. Now we're going to stay down here this time. You have two choices. I'm just going to shift forward. You might like to keep the shins crossed at the middle shin, but keep the feet further away from you. Or you might like to stack your right ankle on top of the left knee, right knee on top of the left ankle. Okay, so option 2 would have your two shins absolutely stacked. Option 1, they're crossed but in front of you. And let's give ourselves a chance to just walk the hands all the way forward. Let the head hang, close down the eyes. Releasing into the hips, into the glutes, and into the lower spine. You might start to feel for that breath that we found at the beginning of the practice, that V shape coming up from Muladhara chakra, our energy center responsible for helping us to feel grounded, centered, safe, secure. And here you might also notice that the breath is also filling up the back body just a little bit more. Yeah, begin to walk the hands all the way up. I'm with you guys. I'm going to just lift the right knee up. Walk the hands up the back of the right leg. Working towards a long, tall spine, so not rounding and leaning back. Doesn't matter how high the leg goes, but let's keep the spine tall. Both hands can hold the back of the leg or even up to the foot if that's part of your practice. As best as we can, we're remaining calm and easeful. Think of that breath pattern, that V shape of breath, upward and expansive, then downward and centering. Left hand would find the outside of the right leg, wherever you're reaching. Sitting tall, let's take the right hand back and open in the twist. Shoulders are relaxed, collarbones free and open, and neck is long. And final full breath right here. Coming back into the center and gently releasing it. Both feet go flat, knees bent, and when you place your hands behind you, let's keep the fingertips facing towards your bottom. Open up the chest, the collarbones, and then lift the hips. Now right here, I want you to feel as much lifting up out of the palms of the hands and the soles of the feet as you can. Find stillness in the pose, awareness of all the unique sensations that might be present. Give yourself a final goodbye breath. And then release it all the way back down. So now you're taking your left shin over top of the right, or stacking left heel on top of right knee. Good. And then start to walk your hands forward. Good. Walking all the way out. And this time you might like to spin the palms of the hands up. Relax the shoulders down and let the head be really quite heavy. And perhaps you start to not only imagine the V shape of your breath coming from the space between the sits bones up and out to the armpits, filling the back body on an inhale. Drawing back in and down on the exhale. You might even like to count its length on the way in and out. Just finding the inhalations and exhalations equal in time and space. Without hesitation, you'll gently walk the hands up. Lean the torso back and find hands walking up the back of the left leg now. Any amount. The shoulders are relaxed. Can we still feel for that upward lift? Doesn't matter if there's a bend in the knee or the hands are quite low. Rather than leaning and sagging back and down, we want to feel like, yeah, I'm lifting up today. My energy is elevated. Right hand is going to find any portion of the left leg or the left foot. With a tall spine, we twist back. Look back to your right thumb even. Allow that lower right rib to twist closer to the inner left thigh. Notice if the breath is shifted, if the mind tries to wander. Can you bring it back? Back here. Back to the pose. And then slowly unraveling. Turning the feet. And then just shift yourself a bit more forward towards the top edge of the mat. I find a little challenge here. We'll take any variation that you might like of boat pose. You could hold behind the back of the legs or reach the hands out in front. Knees can come up so shins are parallel, or who knows, tonight might be the night that you take the legs straight. But remember, our intention is to find stability. So if it's a wobble and a shake the whole time, just drop down and choose a modification, a variation that allows you to anchor into your stillness. Feel that breath coming up and out from sits bones to armpits, back down and in. You have one more breath right here. Slowly, slowly, begin to lower yourself all the way down with the knees bent and the feet flat. Walk the heels a bit closer towards you, press the backs of the shoulders, the upper arms down, and then gently pull the tailbone. Peel the spine vertebrae by vertebrae off the mat until the whole front side of the body is open. You might like to stay here or to find a little more backward bending. Keep the feet where they are. Walk the shoulder blades closer together, shoulders closer to the feet. Holding ankles if it's available to you. Lifting the sternum towards the chin, lengthening the tailbone through the legs. You're here for one more breath. Gently releasing the shoulders, rolling the spine down, and giving those knees a gentle hug. Hug right into the chest. Making a few small circles with the knees to massage any tension might be left over, any niggles. Switch the direction, iron out the wrinkles. Now perhaps you'd like to begin your relaxation in Supta Baddha Konasana, bottoms of the feet together, hands either out to the sides or resting gently on the abdomen. Or if you prefer to extend the legs straight out into Shavasana already, please feel free. Here, we'll take a moment to observe the breath. To observe the stillness. And I want you to take a moment to notice if perhaps there's still anything that's trying to pull your attention. Anything that you may have been holding on to. And I want you to invite that slowly away with each passing exhale breath. As we come into our final posture, let us take the legs back up, knees towards one another, and then extending the legs straight up to the ceiling. You might like to bring your legs up against a wall, or just resting here, or might even take the arms up. But tonight, I don't want you to feel like you're reaching to find length, but rather allowing everything to soften. So with the legs extending up, feel that the feet aren't even flexed. The knees are soft. Feel from the arms that the fingertips are naturally curling as you release any tension in the hands and the wrist. The elbows softening. You might notice that there's a little bit of shaking. Instead of judging this shaking, be grateful for it. It lets us know that maybe somewhere along the chain here, there's a little blockage, my energy. And by just surrendering into the stillness, into the ease, I can breathe that blockage away. Anything that I might be holding on to here and now, I can release. I can let go. I can surrender. Slowly, gently, easily release the arms and the legs. If you'd like to take cover of a blanket, please feel free. You'll find yourself lying comfortably on your own mat, your mat space. And some might say, here's where the real work begins. As you all settle into your space, invite the eyes to softly close. Release the creases of the forehead. Unfurl the brow. Soften the eyes away from the lids. Allow the tongue to drop away from the roof of the mouth. Notice how the jaw comes unclenched. The lips might even slightly part. Feel a softening down the sides of the neck and throughout the throat. Feel as the collarbones begin to melt away from one another. As the shoulders drop down into the mat beneath you. The arms start to release, soften. You'll notice that natural curling of the fingertips. Perhaps a subtle sensation in the palms of the hands. The arms and shoulders release. Feel any gripping around the shoulder blades begin to melt away. The upper back growing heavier. Middle back and ribs dropping further. Lower back all the way down to the tailbone, softening, surrendering into the mat beneath you. The back body surrenders. The support. The front body is free and open. Expansive. Vibrant. Allow the hips to drop even deeper. The legs to come unclenched, ungripped from the hip socket. And all the way down the legs to the tips of the toes. The lower body completely releasing. Completely letting go. Completely surrender. Whole body. Soft. Whole body. Release. Whole body. At ease. Just as you've let go of the entire physical body. Let go of the control you have of the breath. Simply observing. Perhaps the breath becomes a little more shallow, slower, softer. As you let go of body, as you let go of breath, let go of the control you have over the mind. As thoughts arise, simply acknowledge it for what it is. It's a thought. And then give yourself this grand experience of present moment, here and now. allowing the physical body, the breath, and the mind to come into union. To unite as one. It might last for a simple second. The union might seem to linger in space and time. But the practice is simply coming back in to union, to equanimity. Allowing yourself to remain in this sweet, soft surrender just a while longer. Next inhalation, draw it slightly longer, deeper, expansive. Open your mouth, sigh the breath out completely, empty, letting go. Find just a little bit of movement in your fingers and toes, your wrists and ankles. Perhaps drop your head from side to side. And take a nice long breath in, extend the arms out overhead. Reach just a little longer, a little further length, fingertips to toes. And then draw your knees in and give yourself a huge hug. On the next breath in, lift your head and shoulders. Guide your forehead to meet your knees. On your breath out, soften it, release it, let it go. Once more like this, head and shoulders lift, knees and the forehead close. Exhale, release it, let it go. Extend your right arm out overhead, gently roll over to the right side and pause. Pause in presence. Pause in deep appreciation. And then when you're ready, press yourself up. Finding that similar whole spine that we began with. Perhaps supporting your hips with the legs crossed. Allow the hands to rest onto the knees. Just for a moment, sit inside of this temple that is your body. Hear the sound of your breath, the beating of your heart. A slightly taller spine, quieter mind, a calmer breath, and a more open heart. And as you breathe in next, reach the arms up. Guide the palms to me, to bring the thumbs to press at the third eye center, the space between the brows, honoring that inner wisdom, that intuition, experiential knowledge